Hi, this is IK. Welcome to React to Next. How by artificial intelligence, Chat GPT, how Chat GPT led me through translation my React application to Next application. It is this application, Tank1. It is in address in Git, and you clone it, and you can test artificial intelligence as teachers, step by step. And this my React application have one page, you see, and there is a lot of dynamic delete, update features here. Add a new post. Add new post, delete, update features. It is React application like this, and that React application I want to convert in a next.js and to see how it all function, what I have, what I don't have, what I have with React, what I have with Next, and complete React application with Redux Tank go to Next environment, go to Next environment and have all properties of React application and all properties of Next application. Okay, let's go. Let's get started. Here it is. This is entire my React Redux application. Can you step by step, it is important, step by step, convert it in a next.js instead me. And I copy all component from my React Redux Tank application. It is copy all entire. You can do all like me. Sure, I'll guide you through converting your React Redux application to next.js application step by step. Please note that this will involve creating multiple files and restructuring your project. Below, I'll provide the changes you need to make for each part of your application. Number one, create next.js application. If you haven't already, create a new next.js application using the following command. Here it is. Replace my next app with the desired name of your app. Name of my app was my next app, like here it is. Folder structure. Next.js has a different folder structure. Move your components, Redux-related files, and other assets to appropriate directories within your next.js project. Here is a suggested structure. Here it is. Stop here, scrolling, and create this directories folder structure in new next.js application, and copy Redux, all about Redux, copy in Redux, all about and post copy this component what we have in copy from Tank1, from React component. Here it is. Number three, app.js. In next.js, you have an under slash, and it is, how we call it, it is, okay, this sign, app.js, file that acts as the entire point for your app. You can set up the Redux provider here, create or modify the app.js file in your pages directory. And here is this app concretely in next. Here it is in folder post. I create this app.js and here is code script what give me artificial intelligence, and I copy paste here. I copy this code in app like you see, and you look at here is a connection with the Redux, and look at here app.js, rename your existing app.js to something else, main app.js, to avoid the naming conflicts with the app component from next.js in main app. You can keep your component structure as it is. Here it is. Main app.js, I copy this one. And that my main app to avoid the manual component from next is this, and I create that here in mine. Here in component, here it is. Look at here it is. I must remove frame. Here it is page components. I create folder components, and inside that it is main app.js. Here it is, and copy this this code. Copy here. Okay. This copy in that component. Redux setup. Your Redux setup remains mostly the same. Just make sure the paths are correctly updated. In Redux store.js, import Redux dependency and configure your store. Here it is. Copy it in Redux. Copy it in Redux, posts, Redux. Here it is, post slice, store.js. It is copy in Redux folder. And get back to now pages. Convert your existing components into next.js pages. For example, create pages folder, index.js for the main page, and pages/post for the post-related components. If we have comments, we can create same pages comments, post comments related component. In pages/index.js, you can import and use the main app component. Here it is. Here it is. Redux slice. Your Redux slice can remain the same. Here it is. Components. Update component imports to use relative paths based on your new project structure. Ensure that your components are self-contained and don't rely on global scripts or styles outside of their scope. API route. I stop here. I finished in this moment. I have my next.js application working as before. I didn't create or ask Artificial that create me API for server-side rendering. And without it, Redux next.js, when I started, send me only a static initial page without data. And after that, working React like next.js, working like React application before. Add new post, delete, update, all working by client side. But now I ask Artificial to create me API that I see in data initial page, initial static page that I need it with data. But now code me API for server-side rendering. I want, number one, to see first page component main app. Import React from, and I copy here my main app React, because here is add post form and post list. I copy all what I have until now, pages index.js, I copy. It means that for initial page, I want main app. I must copy index.js, what I have now, you see. In that I have homepage main app. And now is a response. And of course, I have, this is post API post pages /API /post is empty. Is empty. This is very important now for API. And now my app work only client rendering, client rendering side, and all work is okay as before. Before, as it was entire React without Next. Now it is a Next app, and I see initial HTML without data in view source. Here is an endpoint of data, and this works excellent in React Redux app. And you now take what you need for fetch data server-side rendering. Last time you not success, etc., etc. And here is all necessary for the first server-side rendering in my life. And I copy this part because of endpoint. And now response is to implement server-side rendering. But before I read continues, here is important to say. First time when I asked API, I didn't be clear. I didn't lead clear artificial intelligence. We must lead artificial intelligence. It means we must set, we must copy what is need, what is need for concretely task. And here I know what I want and what I need from next.js, and I was very, very clear and copy what it is need for that task of create coding API for server-side rendering. To implement server-side rendering for your next.js application, fetch data from an external API, you'll need to follow these steps. Create API route in next.js to fetch the data. Use the fetch data in your page component. Create API, use it. And let's start by creating the API route to fetch the data. In your next.js project, create a new file name, post.js, inside pages API directory. And I copy here this. I copy all this. Look at, here is endpoint, Axios library, get request, and all other. When you look at it, copy it. I now don't explain code. I now talk about how artificial intelligence learn me, how code instead of me. And after that, I can learn code, what I like. I like learn code, but I don't like write code. I never want write code, but I want understand code and this artificial job that give me that coding instead of me is something excellent for me. This API route uses Axios, fetch data from specified endpoint and returns it as a JSON. Next, in your main app component, you can use the, here it is, get server-side props. It is a new function. What does Miracle for us? That Miracle is initial static page with data. Function to fetch the data and pass it as a prop to your component. Here is how to modify your main app component. Here it is. I only copy. I didn't look at it code, copy complete and copy where this is important. Here is important. And here is important, import. Now implement get server-side props in your page component. Implement get server-side props in your page component. It is page index.js to fetch the data during server-side rendering. Here it is in index. Here it is. And here is asynchron function get server-side props. It is function what coming with next.js. And here in index, we have that function, and after that we have home page and return main up and post equal post. Here is post. It is index, home page, main up. What in React it is up was top level, now equivalent of app, main app here is third level. First is index, second is home page, and here is main app. In the get server side props function, we fetch the data from the API route we create earlier. Look at here. Make sure to replace this address with the correct URL of your deployed next.js. I don't need correct. Nothing in now was all correct without my intervention, and for 1 minute or 2 with my copy. Now when you access your home page in your next.js app, it will fetch the data during server-side rendering and pass it as a prop to the main component, allowing you to display the data on the page. My response is excellent. And here it is. It is a next.js application. In source view source, here we have complete initial page with the data. And after that initial page, all other is client-side rendering. Update, delete, update, delete, and add. Post 5. Post 5 is all that is client-side rendering as before. And it's all about creating next.js from existing React application. And now I'm thinking, for example, if I open now playlist next.js for total beginners, and what I do in that next, what I teach people in that next list, I teach all. I can complete copy React, all React playlist with 150 hours of video, copy in that playlist, and attach this last video about next.js, and I learned something else about, but the topic about this moment topic about next.js is that pages, every pages, now we have only one pages, but every page is with full of content, go like server side, and we have a full HTML page, excellent, prepare for search engine optimization. And people who now coming in that JavaScript frameworks, libraries like React, etc., in the next.js, or or if I now start my courses about JavaScript frameworks library, I will be in big problems because I would start, for example, with the newest Next.js frameworks. It is, but don't forget that it is a React frameworks. Next.js is a React frameworks, and it would be very confused because I must start with Next.js and the philosophy of Next, and 150 hours spoke about React, React.js. In the future, Next can grow and take more and more jobs from client-side rendering. But there is interaction always. What is ideal, what is excellent, like user experience for React, but how faster was internet network, so go technology up, and in some moment we have finished with the division on front end and back end, and we would have only one. Only one. It is what we call today full stack. It will be full stack. But about jobs, about team, always would be jobs about design, about programming, about code, about developers, for developers, etc., etc. But concretely, application would be more and more compact. Okay, if you know somebody that need videos like this, say them about this video, engage in this video, comment, like, subscribe. Thank you for watching this video.